Whether you're a WordPress beginner, an SEO expert, or an agency looking to create fast and professional websites the easy way, block themes are the future of no-code website creation with WordPress. And with the release of the Spectra One WordPress block theme, the future has officially begun. Yes, we did it again. After creating Astra, the most popular WordPress theme of all time with more than 2 million installs, Brainstorm Force is on a mission to create the best WordPress block theme. Spectra One equips you with the tools to create stunning, responsive, and highly functional websites in no time. It's fast, efficient, and even more powerful when you combine it with our visual website builder called Spectra. Oh, and did I mention it's free? Hello, I'm Kay from the Spectra team, and today I'm so excited to walk you through version 1.0 of the Spectra One WordPress block theme. With Spectra One, the possibilities are endless. It's like having a team of dedicated designers and developers at your fingertips, ready to bring your vision to life. And the best part, apart from the fact that it's free of course, you don't need any coding skills or technical knowledge to make it happen. Now before we jump right in, let's quickly understand the differences between traditional WordPress classic themes and the game-changing WordPress block themes. Classic themes have been around for a while, offering a solid foundation to create professional websites with WordPress. However, they often require extensive coding knowledge, for example, if you want to change parts like the header, the footer, or the 404 page. That's unless you use a theme like Astra, where everything has been done to make your life easier when building websites, and even more so with the Astra Pro plugin. But traditionally, in most other WordPress classic themes, outside the content of posts and pages, it can be a daunting task to change other parts for beginners or for those who want a hassle-free experience. And that's where block themes and the power of full-site editing now built in WordPress comes in. A block theme is a type of theme that allows you to customize your entire website layout without any coding knowledge. In other words, it gives you the power to design your website's appearance, including header, footer, sidebar, and content areas using drag-and-drop tools in the WordPress editor, without the need to touch any code. Also, one of the benefits of block themes is that they are faster than classic themes from the get-go. And while you can achieve superb speeds with classic themes with optimization, speed is just built in with block themes, because block themes excel in performance by caching all templates. Now, one of the other benefits of block themes is a more consistent experience between themes. No matter which theme you're using, just go to Appearance, Editor, and you can edit your website globally. For example, you can go to Templates, and you got those templates: 4.4, Archive, Blank, Blog, Home, Index, Page, Search, Single, and so on. Or you can also edit template parts, like the footer, the header, and the post meta, and even the comment section. So as you can see, WordPress block themes and the full site editing experience is pretty powerful, and we can call it a game changer. But we can make it even better with Spectra One. So Spectra One comes with professionally crafted templates like the 404 page, which is the page you land on when you follow the dead link or you mistype the URL. The archive page. So for example, if you're in a blog and click on a tag or category, you would see that type of page with all the results. Next, the home page. And once again, as you scroll, you can click anywhere and then you can start editing. Or you could add more blocks by clicking on the plus sign, and if you're using Spectra, and we'll talk about that later, you can click and add any block. Next, you get the index template, the page template. So here we're not talking about changing the content of the page, just like for all other templates and template parts. We're talking about changing the model which all new pages are going to use. Next, the search template, and this is pretty self-explanatory. Next, the single template. And just like for the page template, for the post template, you won't affect the content of the blog posts, but you will affect the way they are laid out and displayed. Next, sidebar. And just like previously, you could click on the sidebar, then click on the plus sign, go to blocks, and you could just drag and drop an image. And now, let's say you want to add an ad on your website, you could just upload your banner here. As simple as that. Next, let's take a look at template parts. And in template parts, you will find the footer, the header, and the sidebar. And just like for the templates, all you have to do is click on the template part that you want to edit. Then I can click on the footer, and now I can click on the document overview, and then let me click on any element. And you can see that this element is part of a navigation block. Now let's say I want to add more blocks, so I can click on the plus sign, and let me add an icon. Then I can edit the icon by clicking on the block options. Then I can easily change this icon. I can change its size, and I can style it like I would any other block. And then all I have to do is save, and there you go. My website header has been edited in just a few seconds. Okay, but now let's change the rest of the header. Now, one good practice when you're going to make a lot of changes and you're not sure of what you're going to do is to actually duplicate the header for the time you're editing. So here I'm just going to collapse the group, click on the three dots, hit duplicate. Okay, and next let me select the first group. This is the one I'll be editing, and at the end I can decide which one I want to keep. So first of all, if you want to change the logo, just click on the logo, hit replace, and I'm going to open the media library. So I have the logo and I have an image. So let me select that image, and as you can see, it's way too big. So I can just resize it to my liking, or I could have just changed the image dimensions right here. Okay, next, what about if you want to change the background color? So in the document overview, which you can open right here, I'm going to select my first group, then click on the styles icon, and where it says background, I'm just going to click on it. And here I can either choose a color, so I can click here and pick any color that I want, or I could pick a color from my color palette. As simple as that. Now, if you want to change the color of the menu here, if you use this here, it's not going to change anything. Why? Because this is the text specifically for the group that you see here in the document overview. So if you want to change the color of the navigation, we need to click here in the navigation. Make sure that the navigation is selected and not individual items. So with the navigation selected, now once again in the right sidebar, I can click on styles, text, and then I can pick a color. Now, how do we change the navigation? So once again, you want to have your navigation block selected, and here in the sidebar, we can see our menu. Now, if you click on the three dots, you will see if you have different menus. So if you want to edit the current menu, as you can see here, we have home, about, blog, contact. I can just move the elements around. And if I want to add a new one, click on the plus block. And here I can add either a page link, a custom link, a post link, a submenu, a page list, or I can search for a specific item. Now, most of the time you would add a page link or a custom link. So let me show you. Page link. And here it's asking me to select the page. So if I click on it, I see my various pages. Let me pick this one. Great. I can edit the label and the URL. Now let me go back to my navigation block and let me show you how to remove an element. So here I hover over my page 4, click on the three dots and remove. Now I can also add custom links. So let me click on the plus sign, custom link. So here you can still add a page link, but if you click on the custom link, you can change the label, type the URL you want to reach, and hit save. And now if we go back on the front end, we notice a few things. First of all, we can see the change of background color for our header. And then in the second one here, we see that the Google link we added is also in the second header. So what went wrong? Well, let's fix it step by step. So first of all, you want to click on the WordPress sign. This way we're back in the editor. Go back, templates, home. And now we can click on our header, then click again, just to make sure that our navigation is selected. And now in the sidebar, you see that option, enable transparent header. And we'll talk about transparent headers later in this video, but right now we're going to disable it. So toggle it off and click on save twice. And now if we go back to the front end and refresh, there you go. Okay, next, why is the Google link that we added in the first header present in the second one also? Well, that's for a simple reason. With full site editor and block themes, menus are handled differently by WordPress. So with classic themes, you can go to appearance, menus, and then you can edit your menus from there. But with full site editing and block themes, if you go to appearance, menus have disappeared. So now you handle the menus directly with the editor. So let's go to appearance, editor, template parts, header, and let's select our navigation. So once again, let's open the document overview and let's make sure that our navigation block is selected. And now if you click on the three dots here on the right hand side, you see that this is called navigation 1. Now let me create a new menu. And it says your menu is currently empty, add your first menu item to get started. So now you should know how to add pages or custom links. So let me click on the plus sign. But now let me show you page list. So let's click on page list. So what it did actually is that it added all the pages currently created in my WordPress install. So if I click on my page 2, I don't have much options. I can't really do anything with it because it's part of the page list item. And if I click back on the navigation block, click on the 3 dots, I now have 2 navigations. So let me save this. And now if we go back to the front end and refresh, there you go. Now we've changed the navigation. Now I don't really want to use this page list. I want to create my own custom menu. So the way to do it is to go on the sidebar, click on the 3 dots where it says menu, click on create a new menu, click on the plus sign, and I'm going to add a mix of page links and custom links. And now if I refresh my page, there you go. My page 2, my page 3, and then an external link. If I click on it, works as it should. Now let's take a quick look at the navigation options. So if I click on my navigation block, you already saw this part here where we changed the menu. Now it's all good, but where do you manage your menus? So for example, if I click on the 3 dots, let's say that I want to remove navigation 2 because I don't want to use it and I don't ever want to use this one. So what do I do? Well, as explained, it's different from classic themes. So what you need to do here is to click on the gear icon for settings, then scroll down and expand advanced. Scroll down again, and here you will see a link that says manage menus. So first let's save our work and then click on manage menus. And now we can see the 3 navigation menus that we created, and we want to remove number 2. So let's click on it and let's click on trash. Now you can also rename your navigation. So here, let me click on quick edit, and I'm going to call it navigation A. Click on update. Same here, navigation 3 is going to become navigation B. Update. And now let me go back to appearance, editor, template parts, header. Click on my header. Then here it says navigation menu has been deleted or isn't available because it was navigation 2 that we've now deleted. So if I click on it and then click on the 3 dots where it says menu, let me select navigation A, or I could go back and select navigation B, which is what I had previously. Now just a quick word here. The only thing you can do here with navigation menus in the backend of WordPress is to edit the name or delete. Because if I click on one navigation item, I cannot edit the navigation itself. For that, you use the editor, which I've already shown you how to do. Now let's quickly take a look at the other settings for your navigation block. So if I click on the settings, you can see you can justify, center, left, right, or space between items. You can change the orientation, but let's put it back to how it was. And you can allow to wrap to multiple lines or not. Next, you can select the overlay menu icon. So if I click on it, I can select like 3 lines or 2 lines. And you can also decide if the overlay menu is completely off, just works on the mobile, or is always on. And now it's here, which means that you can have an overlay navigation in desktop mode. So let me save. And now if you go back to the front end and refresh, here is my new navigation. So if I click on it, we have a full screen navigation with our menu. So let's put it back to mobile. And then you have the responsive settings. You can hide on desktop, tablet, or mobile accordingly. Now let's go back up. Let's click on the styles tab. We already saw that previously. You can change the text. You can also add a background color. So for example, let me pick this one just to make it obvious, but that's just going to change the navigation block itself. Now, if you want to reset styles, all you have to do is click on the 3 dots and reset the setting that you want to reset. So here is the background. There you go. Next, you can also change submenu and overlay text and overlay background. Now, we didn't really talk about submenus, so let me show you. Let me go back into list view, and now I'm just going to drag my page 3 under my page 2. And now I have a submenu. So let's save, let's refresh, and here is my submenu. So now if I go back to styles, so first let me change the submenu and overlay background to this flashy color, and let's change the submenu and overlay text to this color. Let's save. Now let's refresh, and you can see the changes are reflected. Next, you can change the typography. So here you can change the size, but if you need more settings, just click on the 3 dots, and you can add font family, appearance, line height, letter spacing, decoration, and letter case. And you can change all of that here. Last but not least, we have the block spacing. By default, it's set to medium, but you can change the size, or you can click on this icon to set custom size, and then you can just choose the value that you want to use. Now, as usual, if you want to reset, click on the 3 dots, hit reset. Now, you can also change the width here. So click on width, And here by default it's set to fit, but you can also change it to fill or to fixed. Now the last part of our header is our button, and you can easily change the settings here in the right sidebar. They are pretty self-explanatory. So we can change it to 25, 50, 75, 100%, which is what we had initially. And then if you click on the Styles tab, you can change the type of button. So here we have outline, and you can change the text color and the background color. And of course, you can change the typography, the dimensions, and the border and border radius. Now this is the default button from WordPress, but let's say you want to change this button for a Spectra block. That's pretty easy. So let's click on Document Overview. Let's select our button group, click on the plus sign, and here you can see the Spectra button. So if I click on it, here I've added a Spectra button group. So if I go back in the list overview, I can remove the first button group. And then here, let's say I want to remove the first button. And then you can just style the button as you would do with Spectra. So as you can see, full site editing and block themes are pretty powerful when it comes to editing your headers. Now, once you've decided which one you want to keep, just delete the other one. I actually like the initial one, so let me collapse the first group, click on the three dots, and I'm just going to remove it. Then click on Save. And now if I go back and refresh, we're almost back to square one. Just remember that initially we had the transparent header. So back in WordPress, let me click on the WordPress logo. Let's go back, click on Templates, Home, then click on our header, click on our navigation block, and I'm going to enable transparent header. Click on Save twice, and now I'm back in the front end, so you can clearly see the difference in color here. Let me refresh, and there you go. The transparent header is back. Now, one word about responsive editing. So if you want to edit in responsive mode, just hover over one of these controls, and then you can just drag and resize. And once you've done that, you can edit accordingly to make it look better on a mobile device or on a tablet device. And to go back to desktop mode, just drag all the way to the side. Next, Spectra One comes with a sticky header option. So once you open the editor, you will land here. All you have to do is click on the page, and now you go into editing mode. So click on the header and make sure that the block sub-tab is selected in the right panel and not the template. So let's go back on block, and now we can click on Enable Sticky Header and click on Save. Now bear in mind, you need to click twice. And now if you go back to the front end, before we refresh the page, let's scroll, and this is the normal behavior. Now let's go back up, let me refresh. And now if I scroll, as you can see, we have a sticky header. Next, Spectra One comes with a transparent header option. And just like for the sticky header option, once you open the site editor in WordPress, you will land here. So click anywhere on the page and you will go into editing mode. Next, you want to click in the header. And here I had my sticky header enabled. And if it's enabled, you won't see the option for transparent header. So first of all, let me turn this off. And there we go. Now we have the option for the transparent header. So let me toggle it on. Next, let me save. And now if we go back to the front end, before we refresh the page, let's take a look. So far we had our sticky header option on, and you can see the difference. And here we can see the difference in color between the header and the hero section. Now let me zoom back out. Let me refresh. And now as you can see, the background color has disappeared. Okay, now let's take a look at how we can edit our footer, and as you'll see, it's pretty similar to the header. So let's go to Template Parts, Footer. Let's click on our footer, and first let's open the list view. Now as usual, I'm going to duplicate just to be on the safe side, and I'm just going to work on the first group. So if you followed along when we changed the header, it should be pretty easy for you now. So with our group selected, let's go to Styles, and let's change the background to this color. Next, let me change the position of this logo. So let me click on it and click on the little arrow to move it down. Next, I can change the color here. So I select my paragraph, then click on the Styles tab, click on Text, and let me change the color of this text. And now if you want to change the elements in the navigation here, it's exactly the same as for the header. So let me click on an item, and then in the list view, let me make sure that I select my navigation block. And here one more time, I can add custom links, page links, post links, some menus, and so on. So let me click on page link, and here I can select the page I want to add. So I'll add my page 4. And just like previously, you can click on the three dots and you see the different navigation. So I could use the navigation A from the header that we created previously, navigation B, or the navigation tree we just created. And once again, let's say I wanted to remove this navigation tree from WordPress. All I'd have to do is click on the settings icon, scroll all the way down, click on advanced, scroll down, and click on manage menus. But we're not going to do that now since we already saw how it works with the header. Next, we can change the titles. So click on style, and here you can change the text color. You can change the background, or if it's a link, you can change the color of the link. And then as usual in Spectra, you can just click on the copy paste style icon, click on copy style, then select each other title and hit paste style. Pretty easy, huh? Now the last part is that part here. So here you can just click on any element and change the text accordingly. And as usual, you can add other blocks. So let's select the last block here. Click on the plus sign, click on image, media library. Let me select our image and I'm just going to resize it. And there you go. So once you've decided which footer you're going to keep, just click on the list view and delete the one you don't want to keep by clicking on the three dots and hitting remove. Then make sure you save your work and don't forget to click twice. So as you can see, just as we saw for the header, editing the footer is so easy with Spectra One. So you can completely unleash your creativity and build beautiful footers for your websites. Next, Spectra One allows you to disable the header and footer. And that is pretty handy, especially if you want to create landing pages. All you have to do is to open a page in editing mode, and then you want to click on the Spectra page settings icon. And next you can disable the header, the footer, or both. Click on update. And now if you go back to the front end and refresh, there you go. The header and footer are gone. Next, global styles. So Spectra One comes with predefined global styles, among which the dark mode that so many of you love. So to access it while in the editor, just click anywhere and then click on the styles icon. So here we can browse styles. And for example, we can click on the dark mode. And as you can see, in just one click, your website has gone dark. Now there are many other styles like aquamarine, Easter green, mango, pink, rainforest, sweet corn, and ultramarine. But let's put it back on the default. Next, if we go back, we can change the typography. So we can change the text, the links, the headings, and the buttons. We can change the colors. So here we have our color palette. Here we have 26 colors, for example, but we can add and remove colors as we want. And that will help you have consistency while you are building your website. And if you ever change your branding and let's say you want to go from this color to a pink color, all you would have to do is click on this color, change the color, and it will be reflected everywhere the initial color has been used on your website. So whatever you do, use the color palette. Now let's go back, and as you can see on top of the color palette we have the elements. We have background, text, links, headings, and buttons. So for example, I could open links, and guess what? I can either choose a custom color or I can choose a color from my color palette. So that makes it really powerful and allows you to be creative without fearing to having to change every single little element on a per element basis. Next, we have our layout option. And here we can change the width of the content. And here we can set the width of the main content area. But not only that, because we can also play with the padding values. And last but not least, we can change our block spacing default values. So by default is extra small. And if you want total customization, just click on this icon. And then you can just input values. And as you can see, as we change the values, the block spacing changes. Next, with Spectra One, you can hide page titles easily. All you need to do is click on the page title, and then you see this little icon with an eye. Just click on it, click on update. And now if you go back to the front end and refresh, there you go, the page title is gone in no time. Next, Spectra One comes with responsive controls. And to demonstrate it, let me show you this page that I created. Very simple page, but as you can see, I got some content that I would like displayed only on the desktop, then some content only for the tablet, and some content only for the mobile. So if you go back in WordPress to edit, the idea is that for the desktop, we only want this heading and this block quote to show. Then for the tablet, we want this heading and this block quote to show. And you may have guessed it, for the mobile, we just want this heading and the last block quote to show. And by the way, this responsive switcher comes with the Spectra Visual Website Builder plugin. Spectra is a page builder that works with the default WordPress editor, and it works perfectly with the Spectra One theme. So you should definitely give it a try. And if you want to know more about it, we created this video, which I encourage you to watch. So back in editing mode, let me show you how we can display the content we want to display per device with the responsive control of the Spectra One theme. And here I have two types of blocks. So the first one is a heading block from the Spectra website visual builder plugin. And the second one is a block quote block, which is a default WordPress editor block. And you see that the responsive controls are in a different location. So let's click on the first one, the heading block from the Spectra plugin. So for this Spectra block, you want to go to Advanced, Responsive Conditions. And here, I just want to show it on the desktop, so I'm going to hide it on tablet and mobile. Now let me repeat the operation for the tablet heading. This time I'm going to hide on the desktop and the mobile. And for the mobile heading, I'm going to hide on the desktop and the tablet. And from the get-go, you can see that the tablet and mobile headings are grayed out because we're in desktop mode. But if we switch to tablet mode, it changes. And the same for mobile mode. So let's go back in desktop mode and let's save our work. And now if you go back to the front end and refresh, there you go. Works as expected. But now let's get rid of those block quotes. And now back in WordPress, let's deal with the second type of block, which is the core WordPress editor block quote block. So let me click on the first one. And for this block, you can see in the side panel, we have access to the responsive settings on the settings tab. So let's do as previously. We want to hide it on the tablet and on the mobile. Then let's click on the second block quote. This time we want to hide it on the desktop and the mobile. And last but not least, the mobile we want to hide on desktop and tablet. Let's click on update. And now if I go back to the front end and refresh, there you go. We only have the heading for the desktop and the block quote for the desktop. And now if you go to the tablet version and refresh, there you go. Once again, we only have the content for the tablet. And last but not least, the mobile version. Let's refresh. And there you go. Works perfectly. So as you can see, the responsive controls in Spectra One allow you to unleash your creativity and tailor your content to each device. Next, Spectra One comes with patterns. Now think of patterns as reusable blocks or set of blocks. For that, you want to click on the plus sign, click on patterns, and these patterns use blocks from the Spectra website visual builder. So for example, let's say we want to add a call to action. Here I got a white banner with button. Let me click on it. And as you can see, it added it here. So now all I have to do is click on update. And now if I refresh, there you go. It took just a few seconds and I got a fully functioning, professionally crafted call to action banner. Now there are many patterns. You got the featured ones, posts, texts, gallery, call to action, headers, so that you can design headers in no time, footers, pages, services, and media. Now, as mentioned earlier in this video, WordPress block themes are faster from the get-go if you compare them to classic themes. Now, just as we did for the Astra theme, the goal here is to make Spectra One as fast and lightweight as possible. No fluff, just what you need to create beautiful professional websites in no time. Now, what about the future of Astra? So one question you may be wondering about is what's gonna happen to the Astra theme? And just to make it clear, in case you've skipped part of this video, which you shouldn't have, is that Astra is a classic WordPress theme, whereas Spectra One is a full-site editor block theme. And the perfect analogy is the shift happening right now in the automotive industry. And when it comes to cars, we've always had combustion engines or classic cars. They use gas, they require maintenance, and this is what we're used to. But now, electric cars are an option. They do everything differently and they don't require the same maintenance as classic cars do. They have pros and cons, but it seems clear that electric cars are the future. Now, that being said, there will be people that prefer classic cars and there will be people that prefer electric cars. And you get my point. Petrol or gas-powered cars are like the classic WordPress themes. And on the other hand, electric cars are like Spectra One, block-based themes. And today, the majority of WordPress users use classic themes. But you can be certain that the future is in block-based themes. And Spectra One is the best one on the market today. So Astra is here to stay and will keep on getting better as a classic theme. While at the same time, Spectra One will keep on evolving as a front-runner in the new world of block-based themes. So if you're ready to embark on a no-code adventure and unlock the full potential of WordPress with block-based themes, Spectra One by Brainstorm Force, the company behind the Astra theme, is undoubtedly the most promising option out there. So stay tuned, because in future videos, we teach you how to unleash the power of Spectra One with the Spectra Visual Website Builder plugin, showcasing its incredible features and demonstrating how you can build your dream website with the power of no code. So tell me, what are you waiting for? It's free. So just download the Spectra One theme and start playing with the future.